James Lavelle and Richard Jackson from Idiliq at the latest project here in Cala Golf Resort called, James, is your one?
It's the Wyndham Grand Cala Golf Resort.
Exactly, that's the one. So thanks for talking to me today, gents. Let's first of all just go straight into the question about what is this development? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I'll pick that one up. It's ultimately this development here is the first Wyndham Grand residential product in Spain. So it's a development of townhouses, micro villas in a frontline golf position up here in the Cala Golf Resort.
And it's a branded residences project, is that right?
Yeah, correct. So Wyndham Grand is Wyndham Grand, probably famous for being a hotelier, but it's a branded residential product. So when we say it's a branded residence, it's the first residential focused product from the Wyndham Grand brand.
As opposed to other ones that people might be aware of in the Costa del Sol, which are the fashion and automobile type branded residences.
Yeah, we're very lucky here in the Costa del Sol that we've seen, some of the world's biggest global brands, and developers, entice those big global brands to come and bring fantastic products here to the Costa del Sol. But Wyndham is the first hotelier-focused branded residence that we're seeing here on the coast.
Which around the world is actually the main type of branded residence. Something that people in the Costa del Sol might not be aware of is this is the more normal and more commonplace type of branded residence. That's right, no?
Yeah, so I think the branded residence concept really got its start being with residential products that lived geographically alongside large hotelier developments. So Mandarin Oriental, the W, all of these major world hotel players will have residential properties that sit alongside some of their biggest global hotels.
Tell me just a little bit about Wyndham itself, because they're a North American-centric hotel brand, right?
Yeah.
So some people listening to this may not be that aware of it. Tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah, so Wyndham are, by numbers, the world's largest hotel franchisor. So they operate over 9,000 hotels globally. Their main market share is in North American market. But that's with their Wyndham brand. They operate 31 different brands. So Dazzler, Ramada, Wyndham, Wyndham Grand. Wyndham Grand is their pinnacle brand, so that's the top of their tree in in terms of luxury. But they offer a number of brands in different market segments all over the world.
And this project is a Wyndham Grand project.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, this is a Wyndham Grand project, and effectively within the Wyndham ecosphere, what that really means is only 1% of Wyndham projects get the Wyndham Grand moniker. That's their 5-star ultra luxury offering, and really seeks to leverage the top level of service element. It's not just about the unit, but it's about the level of service that goes alongside that. I mean, when you think of hotels generally, and you think of particularly high-end hotels, it's as much about the experiential element around the room as it is about the property itself. I think as property developers, we often get caught in talking about the level of luxury and finish and furnishing that goes into the unit. But when you're talking about a hospitality brand, it's everything that goes on around that unit, the gardens, the quality of services, the level of facilities that you can tap into as and when you want to, that really elevates that a level above.
And just to be clear, this isn't a hotel that's selling units in it. This is a residential development.
Yeah, absolutely.
That has the hotel brand attached to it. So the brand promise from the hotel and the services.
Yeah, that's correct. So there's another Wyndham Grand here on the Costa del Sol. So there's a Wyndham Grand down in Mijas Costa on the seafront there. So effectively, best of both worlds. This one's golf frontline golf, and that one's frontline beach. But that really is more of a hotel-centric development. This is a residential focused product that can tap into the service element and infrastructure that's provided by the main site that's been there near on 40 years.
So a little bit about this specific site. How many units? What is it? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so there are 58 units on this site. They are townhouses, but designed by the architects HCP. Got a number of famous projects here on the coast, here on West, some of the other big projects that I'm sure people will know. And really the idea is about taking a new perspective and maximising the vistas across the Gulf from every angle. So they're adosados technically, but they're all turned sideways.
That's posh for a townhouse.
That's posh for a townhouse.
Right, okay.
But your normal townhouse would see, is defined by generally its shape. You'd see a normal frontage there of, 4 to 6, 4.5 to 6 meters. All of the units here are 8 to 12 meters. Effectively, they're turned sideways. Okay. So big panoramic glass offering 270-degree vistas all the way across, all with frontline golf views, some with 3 floors with swimming pools on their terraces, but with great service elements. So 60% of the units here will have their own pools and things, etc.
Just to be clear again, this is a residential development for people primarily looking for a second home,
Yeah.
correct? But it comes with a full package.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So tell me about the location.
Location's fantastic. You're right on the Gulf front here, and you're literally a few minutes from the Costa del Sol. What I mean is, when I was in my car the other day, I drove from here down to see how far it is. 7 minutes. 7 minutes and you're at Cala Beach. It's literally a stone's throw away. And what we found is a lot of the clients that are now buying, they appreciate being just a little bit away from the coast, a little bit away from the traffic and the noise and the parking issues and so forth, and be up here where the air's fresh and it's quiet and you can listen to the birds sing. And now I know you listen to the construction going on, which is actually a good time for your clients to invest. It's the best time right now.
When you hear every bang,
they hear that and they go, "Oh, I'm coming in the ground floor."
Right.
So, but it's a perfect location, and you're going to see a lot of things happening out in this area. There's a new commercial center plan, so it's going to become an even more sought-after area than it already is. Pricing I see coming from Marbella this way and from the Higueron this way, and we're literally a year away from prices going much higher in this area, I'm sure. So it's a great location, and we're very pleased to be here, and also to have the ocean front that we talked about with our other property in Mijas, and so it's wonderful.
Something that we didn't mention is that whilst you have all the resort facilities just down the road that are an option for people to buy, there will be some facilities here in itself, isn't there? You have, aside from the properties and their pools and that sort of thing. Tell me a little bit about those.
Yeah, so here it's what we would call the bare baseline of facilities for a Wyndham Grand facility, but 3 swimming pools. Like I say, 60% of the units in this site actually have their own pools as well. But on top of that, co-working facilities plus gym and some spa facilities there as well. So Turkish baths, steam rooms, saunas, etc.
In a few minutes from here, they can drive up to the Cala, and there's facilities there as well. Restaurants. There's you have a gym, you have a spa, you have different facilities. Tennis, I believe, up there. The paddle course as well.
Yeah, and I think and
those things they can take advantage of there as well. So there's plenty to do in the area. There's a new commercial center that's going to be developed not far from here as well, which in a few years' time will be open and a lot of things. But 7 minutes is nothing,
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, part of the Wyndham ownership that rings quite nicely is we have special arrangements with at least 7 different golf courses in the area. So Calanova, Santana Golf, a number of restaurants, special prices and agreements with the beach clubs at the bottom of the road. Ultimately we're bringing in excess of 300,000 people a year to the Costa del Sol, some as holiday makers, some as property owners with us, and a little bit of everything in between. So we have a big infrastructure of kind of discounts and special facilities that we can add for those clients.
What's your title within the Idiliq?
So I'm the real estate director of Idiliq Group.
And so that then segues nicely on, you mentioned Higueron West. I noticed this gentleman here to my right. Tell me a little bit about yourself and where you come into this picture.
Yes, well, I was at the beginning of Higueron West with a small team, including the architects, and we designed the concept, and we designed, exactly what we're going to build, how many of 1s and 2s and 3s, and we created a branded product, Live, Work, Play. It was very successful. We sold it in record time, set a new benchmark for the industry at the time. But I've watched over the last couple of years what's happening where I am now at Idiliq, and been very, very interested and impressed by it, and I see a huge opportunity here. And we're going to take this branded residence. We have several properties in the wings to be released here, and we have more in Tenerife as well through Idiliq. There's 3 resorts down there which we can also offer to agents. So I see working closely with James, taking this company forward and creating a world brand, really.
And we spoke before, James. You guys as developers you love agents.
Yes.
Probably the short way of explaining it,
yes,
right?
Very much.
Your background with Higueron West, I think, highlights it. And tell me a little bit about your relationship with agents and how you see it.
Well, the agents are very important to our overall marketing campaign. Everything we do, we think of our agents first. We need to, we would rather they are all led by very good marketers, and we would rather support that effort than try to be a competitor for them. As a company, we make a conscious decision not to release any properties until we have the license and until we're ready to start construction so that agents can get paid right away. And we have approximately 500 units in that state right now, waiting for licenses, waiting to be launched as needed. So I think it's an important thing. There's a lot of agents, they end up selling property and it takes 6 months or longer to actually get paid. And they're told the license is next month and then it becomes 6 months. And cash flow is obviously important. So we took a conscious decision not to do it. Unfortunately, one of the reasons I joined this company, they have the financial strength to fund the construction themselves until the bank, comes in. And that's another holdup, as you know, as agents. Yeah, we have the license, but we don't have the bank guarantee yet. We can't start construction yet. Well, I think it's a great opportunity to have a long-term relationship with our agent partners, to have some fun together and make some money together.
I think Richard and I are relatively lucky to work across a number of different territories, commercialising products. So we just stuff here in the Canary Islands, and the Costa del Sol in particular is a unique landscape for what the agents can bring to the table. You've got some incredibly sophisticated agency operations down here, led by some incredible marketers.
Yeah.
And we've dabbled with lots of different approaches to market in the last couple of years, and really we're settled in a position that we believe that the best way for us to commercialise our projects is to be a value add to the different agency operations. So our strategy is very much focused around getting out there, speaking to and building close relationships, fostering close relationships with the agents, and understanding what can we do to help them leverage their own audiences.
That's quite a unique thing, I think, on the Costa del Sol, because from my experience, typically developers come here with this idea that they want to sell everything direct, and they sort of begrudgingly end up working with agencies because it seems to be how it's done.
Yeah.
You guys have just come and gone, this is how we're doing it. This is and that's probably why you're also coming on board, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. So I have obviously a lot of long-term relationships with some excellent agents, which we're going to leverage. Hopefully they're going to see the value as the way I do. And we'll have an event in a few weeks' time in June, and invite everybody in to tell them a little bit more about who we are. And it's a great opportunity for agents and ourselves to build a long-term relationship. As I said, there's a lot of inventory coming, and we're just trying to build the business the best way we can, and it's going very, very well.
So you guys have this project here, Branded Residency Project. You just tell me a little bit about what else you have, so for agents to be aware of, for them to bring their customers to.
Yeah, so we have a number of all Wyndham branded projects. So I guess here on the Costa del Sol, you may see Wyndham Grand campaigns
everywhere,
all over the coast, and that's really because we offer all of our projects with a variation of some kind of Wyndham brand. So we have this project here in La Cala Golf. We also have circa 100 units in the site in Mijas Costa, frontline units there, and they're redevelopment. So we tend to operate in a couple of different markets as a developer. We build and develop new product, but there is a different market variations that change things when it comes to new product, the size, etc. But we also do redevelopment. So the main site that we're dealing with in Mijas Costa is product that's been developed maybe 15, 20 years ago, but we'll completely gut and refurbish back to the bones. So.
And without going into too much specifics about it, because it changes, I know this,
Yeah.
but what sort of prices are we talking about approximately for the various different offerings?
Yeah, on the coast we've got product that goes all the way from 275,000 from one-bed units, completely renovated and refurbished to the Wyndham brand specifications, all the way up to here in La Cala Golf at 1.2 million euros.
And the prices on this project are late fours,
Late
up
fours.
to 1
Yeah.
point something. No,
475,000 for the smallest two-bed units here, which will be 110 square metres, up to the largest three-bed panorama units, which will be frontline circa to 1.2 million.
So there's been a lot of talk with the hot topic at the moment in the industry is everything related to rentals, short-term rentals, rentals, investments, and all the rest of it. But just to be clear, this project is for people to have as a second home. Is that correct? Is this what we're looking at?
Yeah, absolutely correct. This is residentially focused. This is a residentially focused product. So it's primary or secondary residence. The upside of the Wyndham brand that they can really benefit from here is not focused on rentals. It's focused on being able to tap into a bespoke menu of additional services as and when they want to. So an owner here may choose that a special occasion they want to have maid service every day this week, or they want to have it monthly. They can tap into, you know, the 70 odd full-time staff that work down as part of the Wyndham Grand residences, who are trained to deliver that to a certain standard.
And this is a service that you already have the infrastructure in place to provide.
Yeah.
I think that's a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's not, you're not new to town offering all these promises of something that you haven't quite figured out how to do yet, right? Those services you're offering.
Yeah, I think we're uniquely positioned there. That's one of the things that really attracted me. We've got a very vibrant development, sales and marketing business, and we have a very strong delivery business with the Wyndham brand on the hotel side. So when agents are bringing their clients here, they know they're going to be looked after.
And your marketing for this project, as well as some of the other developments you're involved with, I would notice it's white label. You don't generally, one of the things that a lot of people have is a slight issue with developers trying to sell the thing direct, like we mentioned before. I noticed all the brand awareness material is white labeled. Is that on purpose, or is that?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, very much our sort of everything we release will be white labeled, but our delivery strategy and sort of is a finely tuned map strategy about how we bring things to market. And at the front and center of that, as we've been speaking about, is the agencies. So we don't do pre-release to our own marketing list. Everything goes via the agencies first. So really the brand campaigns that we will run will be brand awareness. So you may see some Wyndham Grand sort of brand awareness campaign things, but all of the materials that we produce are white label for distribution by the agencies to their independent networks.
In every language.
In every language, because it is a very multicultural
And it's a very,
market right
very
now.
strong website as well. Very easy to use. Everything is with the agent in mind.
Right, okay. And what sort of buyer are we seeing here so far? What sort of nationalities and types? Is it families? Is it single people?
We're still very strong with the Dutch and Belgian market. We're still seeing the Scandinavian market, the Norwegians and Swedes and Finns, but less of. And we still are getting, a bit of German, French, but there's a big amount of Eastern European now. We're talking the Polish, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Czechoslovakia. All these clients are coming in and making up a percentage of that market now. So, if an agent's working to give about the agent relationship, we rather than go to these exhibitions, which we could do, we'd rather go with an agent that's there and help provide support for them with the materials they need in the languages, with whatever they would require in order to have a successful exhibition. So we would prefer to do that. And our agent coordinator, Serge, who was with me at Higaron, knows a lot of the agents. We'll be talking to them about how they can, work with us and how we can help them to get more clients, more sales.
I think just to add to that, we're talking about one of the reasons that we go white label, and talking about the marketing prowess of the agencies down here. But I think with all of the branded residence products, they are fantastic marketing tools. Ultimately we're in the lead generation business at the start of everything. Sales is great, but you need clients to be able to achieve that. And the feedback that we get, almost 100% of the time is that the campaigns that do run with big recognizable brands create better value lead generation propositions for the marketers.
That brings me to the obvious question is, James, you guys have invested quite heavily in bringing in what I would call a big gun in the scene, right? Richard's well known for being a very heavy hitter in this market. Just tell us, just for those who don't know, just give me a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm 72 now. People don't say that, but I feel like 50. So I came over here almost half my life ago, and I've been focused.
From Boston, right?
Yeah, from Boston. I still have that accent, I know. Sorry about that. But I came over here, and I've been in property and leisure since that whole time. So I know this coast very well. I know Tenerife very well, and I think it's a wonderful place to live. It's a wonderful place to holiday. And, you know, you can't find a better place. Close to all of Europe. We all know this. So I had a real estate business, very successful business that a lot of agents might know, called Viva Estates. In the height of it, around 2003, we were doing 1,400 sales a year. And you know, that real estate business is continuing down here. I've developed products, you know, Casablanca and in Benavis, and you know, so I've been on the developer side as well. And I was actually taking a little bit of time off, and Roy and I got to talking, and you know, said, hey, we could use you in here. We'd like to grow this business, and you want to give Jim a hand and James a hand and come on in. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse, so here I am. No, but I'm not one for sitting around the house or playing golf every day. I like to keep the mind going, and you know, like a challenge. And I think this is like a perfect environment. I'm loving it. I've been here a month, and it's fantastic.
So then, as a final point, because I said that this is a development in particular that is for the second home holidaymaker, primarily residential. Mm-hmm. And this isn't about investments, and it isn't about ROIs and return on investments and all that sort of stuff. But it would be a miss not to mention that branded residences globally, it's a good investment, right?
Yeah.
Just the owning of it. Forget whether you rent it or not, right?
I mean, if you just look at the global research done by some of the big global players like Knight Frank, you'll see an average 25% price premium on branded residences properties. Yeah. And it's also not only the price premiums that they command, but also their time to sell for people that do want to sell those after and wants to realise that capital appreciation. So you've got massive global networks. Wyndham, as an example, have 100 million rewards members that are signed up to their system. So, you know, they have a big global audience of people that are looking to buy properties in their establishments, that understand them. And although this product isn't focused on the rental market, we do have other products that are more akin to that. Some of our offerings in Tenerife, for example, our touristic developments, and we'll offer 6% guaranteed rental returns, plus massively high profitability in the rental market. You know, the properties in the Canary Islands will see 97% occupancy, and here on the Costa del Sol, the properties on the other side of the coast that we do have that offer rentals, we'll see an average 81.5% occupancy against an Airbnb average of 49.5%. So massive rental yield potential for people that are looking for that type of product.
But first and foremost, it's a residential project with all the hotel facilities that you might want.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
Nice to see you. Yeah, thank you.